What does it mean to realize the self? I know that I am a male or female, boy or girl, rich or poor, beautiful or ugly, intelligent or dull, and so on. However, the Tantric and the Vedic sages say that all of these criteria are irrelevant, immaterial, and unimportant as far as the quest for the self is concerned. In this quest, one's sex, nationality, class, creed, social status, and religious beliefs hold no importance. The self relates to a different dimension altogether. Hence, exploring the self is not a social, cultural, or religious affair. The emphasis of the sages was on the innate qualities of man, not the acquired ones. They realized that the spectrum of human awareness ranges from demonic to human to divine on account of the interplay of the three qualities or gunas which constitute his being. These three qualities are known as sattva, rajas, and tamas. Sattva denotes divinity, tamas the demonic quality, and rajas the human endeavor. Of course, this is a very broad classification, but it is true that all of these traits are a part and parcel of our nature. The three gunas are present in each one of us and continually direct our thoughts, actions, feelings, and in fact, the totality of our lives. They determine the temperament of each one of us as well as our inclinations in life. We make all of our choices on the basis of these gunas. However, no matter what choices we make in life, we should not forget the purpose for which we have come into this world. That purpose is to realize the self. Human birth is a blessing, but it is a blessing in disguise. It is the seed of individuality that has been sown in human beings, which gives us knowledge of our existence. Humans are endowed with buddhi or the intellect, and because of this intellect, we also are blessed with something called as discriminative knowledge. And this discriminative knowledge is called as viveka. Man is aware of who he is. I know I am. I know that I'm a man, I'm a woman. I know that I'm a boy or I'm a girl. I am aware of my feelings, likes and dislikes, responses, memory, and also the knowledge of the objects around us. Man is exceptional because he can have knowledge of his existence within time and space, and beyond time and space as well. He can voluntarily transcend the objective self and travel into the realm of timelessness to experience the unified awareness of which he is an integral part and from which he has evolved into the gross body and mind that he is. What are the evolutes of consciousness? Ironically, the same tattva or principle which gives man the knowledge of individuality and differentiation is responsible for the experience of unified awareness or knowledge of unity with the rest of creation. That principle is known as ego or ahankara. The word aham means I am. As humans, we know that I am. Other forms of life, both inferior and superior, do not have ahamkara. In lower forms of life, this principle is latent, and in higher forms, it has been transcended. Therefore, in the Vedic and Tantric traditions, human life is much sought after, even by those who have attained divinity, because only man can know the Creator. In that sense, human birth is considered to be the most valuable. According to Tantra, the universal consciousness descends towards manifestation as individual consciousness, assuming four states known as buddhi, chitta, ahankara, and manas. Buddhi means the higher intellect, which has the activity of viveka or discrimination, sadvichar or right thinking. Manas is the lower mind with its characteristic activity of sankalpa and vikalpa, thought and counter thought. Chitta is the memory, it is a storehouse of past actions in the form of samskaras. Ahankar or ego is the notion of self existence, conditioned by the above three. This is the arc of Avaroha, or the descent of the dynamic universal consciousness into human life. It is only at the human stage of evolution that Anmesha or Aroha, the ascent towards higher life, is possible. Inner realization, when Manas, Buddhi, Chitta, and Ahankar are dissolved into universal consciousness through the medium of Shakti or energy. This is the highest yajna. Yajna means sacrifice a man can offer. Other forms of life do not have this privilege because they do not have these four aspects, which are collectively known as antakarana or the inner instrument. The ascent of consciousness from its association with gross matter and base emotions to the effulgence of spirit is the focal point of Tantric and Vedic thought. Other philosophies speak of the descent of universal consciousness, whereas Tantric and Vedic thought upholds that ascent from matter to spirit is the inherent design which Prakriti or nature has woven into all creation. Tantra says that the descent of universal consciousness in its pure form is a possibility which occurs very rarely. This descent of universal consciousness into matter, while retaining its pure form, is known as avatar. The avatar represents universal consciousness on earth, and therefore the laws of nature are well within his control. Sri Krishna was such an avatar, and so was Sri Ram. However, very few such persons have descended to earth. So it is the ascent and not the descent of consciousness that we have to understand in relation to our meditative practices and spiritual evolution. At present, man is functioning with a mere fraction of the potential power of the brain. It is only the tip of the iceberg. The higher faculties of the brain, which are latent, have to be illumined and awakened through two important practices of Tantra, known as dharana and dhyana. These two practices strengthen the electromagnetic circuits of the brain so that it becomes accustomed to handling the high voltage energy that is a consequence of inner illumination. These practices form channels and pathways for the energy to be transmitted to all points of the brain, leading to total illumination. If illumination occurs before these preparations are complete, short circuits may occur and fuses may blow, as the wiring of the brain cannot withstand the influx of powerful currents generated by total illumination of the dark recesses. Different Vedic and Tantric traditions offer lucid and incisive dialogues and debates on this very subject. Their inquiries were both subjective and objective, leaving no stone unturned. They dissected thoughts, ideas, and experiences, analyzed feelings and emotions, and subjected themselves to intense and rigorous scrutiny in search of the real and the permanent. In the science of alchemy, a substance is rarefied until it becomes pure and refined. Similarly, through the alchemical process of meditation, the mysterious ocean of thoughts, desires, and passions surging within is churned by the practice of dharana. In this way, the yogis uncovered layer after layer of mind stuff, and with each uncovering, they discovered more and more refined substances. Each degree of refinement brought greater illumination and the discovery of a new set of attributes. Technically, these attributes are classified as siddhis or perfections. Sage Patanjali, who gave us the invaluable aphorisms or sutras on yoga, calls them vibhutis or accomplishments of yoga. These special attributes are the hidden potential within man that makes him more and more perfect. By this inner process, the yogis discovered that the source from which the gross body has evolved is pure consciousness reverberating with energy. This consciousness is cosmic in nature and has no limitations. It is neither bound by time nor by any particular space. It pervades each and every form of life and is present in each and every being. The yogic alchemists were also curious to know which part of this body this consciousness inhabits, so they searched further and found that it is the indweller of all hearts. As Jivatma, or individual consciousness, it rests in the heart cavity or Anahat chakra. The form of individual consciousness is three dimensional, luminous, laser like light which oversees everything and awaits the moment when it can reunite with Shakti or energy from whom it has separated for the purpose of creation. As it transcends level, it exists as Bindu, the primal point, and Nad, the primal sound, which reverberates through through the stratosphere as cosmic vibration, and within us as Anahad Nad, the unstruck sound. The yogis experience this nad in many forms, such as the melodious notes of the flute, the call of the peacock, the roaring of thunder, and also in various mantras. There are countless descriptions of their experiences in the Tantric text, from which it is clear that the consciousness has many degrees of manifestation, whereby it can be experienced as sound, light, form, and idea. When a substance refines itself by separating form or uniting with another substance, either inherent or apart from itself, this is known as alchemy. The Tantric seers were the most proficient alchemists of all time. They refined highly subtle forms of matter, such as the human mind, intellect, ego, and individual consciousness. The product that emerged from such internal refinement was an experience. This form of experience was so subtle that the human mind could not comprehend it until the attention was turned completely away from matter and focused on spirit. This experience superseded all the varying stages of realization that the ascending Shakti had passed through before reuniting with consciousness. Thank you for watching the video. In the next part, we will look at the principle of reunification, expansion, liberation. Thank you.